Phoenix here. I can't even do the Phoenix. I pulled the back muscle yesterday. But either way, Phoenix here, recapping an incredible Super Sunday that we had yesterday. What did I tell you? Speak now. I am Himity. We'll begin immediately with the Manchester City game against Liverpool. Why told you it ain't gonna be a context? You guys, but you overhyping City. Oh, how you're such an Arsenal hater. You're such a Liverpool hater. You can't debate at this point. I've already told you. I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger. I've already told you it's always the same story. You guys at this point, you're clearly jealous of the Phoenix ball knowledge. I told you everything before it even happened. There would be no context at the Etihad. Mind you, I wasn't expecting a 3-0, and I've seen Liverpool fans crying about the referee and this and that. Yeah, about the corner thing again. How many times are we going to repeat the same thing? Yeah, I'm with you. I've seen those goals stand. They shouldn't be disallowed. I fully acknowledge that. But it's always the same story. You're trying to foul the goalkeeper. You're trying to cheat the system. Yeah, I hear your frustration. Arsenal have been doing that in every game, and they're getting away with it. I hear it. But ultimately, it changes nothing. Was Haaland's first goal lucky? Yes. Was Nico Gonzalez's goal lucky? Yes. But if you watch the game and actually watch the game, there was no context between the two teams. Pep taught Arne Slot, Hank Schrader, a footballing lesson. The way City got that first goal, I urge you guys to go back and see. They had the ball in their corner flag. Excuse me. O'Reilly was shielding the ball from Salah in about boom, 4 passes. They came out, they had the ball at the other end. It was an absolute joy to watch. They're the best team in the land, and they played the best football in the land. All the Liverpool players basically underperformed. Salah gets locked up by O'Reilly. Wirtz, you hyped him up against Real Madrid. Enough of this nonsense. Enough of this. He had a decent game against Real Madrid, and you're making it seem like he's back. He's never started. That's the fact of the matter at the moment. He's not started. And again, what do I always tell you guys? When this many players are underperforming, it's on the manager and, of course, the recruitment in the summer. I told you guys about the defensive midfielder issue that you're going to have. My God, Gravenberch, McAllister got torn apart. The best midfielder in the league, you said, Dominic Szoboszlai. Get over yourselves. Oh, why are you such a Szoboszlai hater? It's embarrassing to see Hank Schrader revert back to what he thought won him the league, when the whole point was Wirtz came in to play number 10. Then Wirtz gets chucked on the left to play this absolute loser in number 10. Playing Szoboszlai as a number 10 is a crime against football. And sure enough, same old favourites from Arne Slot, same old story. Bradley, see, we told you guys, nah, he's good. Yeah, all we learned yesterday was what we knew all along. Number 1, Bradley's definitely not good enough. And number 2, Vinicius, and we'll get into him a little bit later, is the most overrated footballer on this planet. And who told you that before anybody else that, mentioned that? Before it was cool to say that, when he was being labelled as a Ballon d'Or contender / potential winner. Me, Jeremy Doku, I am in awe. This may be one I have to hold my hands up in the air, but I want to be a little bit more patient because I don't recognize Doku. Like, I didn't think he could elevate to this level because it's all well and good dribbling past players, but if you don't have the end product, it's all worthless. And make no mistake about it, the way he played yesterday, I got Eden Hazard vibes. It was like fearless. They were, throwing players of incredible strength on the ball. They were fearing Doku. They didn't want any part of Jeremy Doku. He instilled fear upon every single one of those Liverpool players. And again, full credit to Pep, by the way, because the way he set it up, if you've noticed, it goes back to what I told you. He's not a touchline winger. He's not playing as a touchline winger. Neither is Cherki, of course. They tuck in. He almost forms 4 attacking midfielders that end up playing behind Haaland, and then you got the 2 fullbacks overlapping. It's unstoppable. It's a joy. In order to play that system, however, you need a fantastic defensive midfielder. And Nico Gonzalez yesterday, if it wasn't for that Doku performance, he'd be man of the match in any other game. Basically, Rodri region. It's crazy. Barcelona let this guy go to still play players now like Casado. Madre mia. Ma que jugador, que jugador. As for Liverpool, you know what's next. You know what's needed to be next for some time. Hank Schrader, au revoir, goodbye, give it to Steven Gerrard until the end of the season. Then, of course, while we stay in England, very happy for Unai Emery turning it around for Aston Villa. Eddie, speaking about managers that need to go, it's hilarious seeing Newcastle fans invent all the excuses in the world for Eddie. I told you already, go look at my transfer video in the summer. It was a disastrous window, no doubt about that. But if you think this is not on the manager, come on. It's embarrassing watching Newcastle play like this. Embarrassing. Eddie is only a manager that he has his limits. He can only take the team so far. There is nothing else he's able to do to take this team to the next step. And it's all well and good performing in the Champions League, but you need to have consistency. You need to try be in it again the following season. At this rate, Newcastle ain't going to be playing any European football. Crazy. But of course, as the Premier League or as the international break approaches, Manchester City 4 points behind Arsenal. And like I've told you, they look like by far the best team in the land. Very close elsewhere as well. So exciting. Is it too early to say Liverpool out of the title race? Maybe a little bit. But give it, especially if they stick with that manager, give it a few weeks and you can definitely say it with certainty. In Italy, we're seeing Antonio Conte's Napoli fall to yet another defeat. This looks like a Napoli team that don't want to play. They don't have any passion. They don't have any desire. They look defeated before they even step onto the pitch. Full credit to Bologna first and foremost. Italiano was doing a fantastic job. But that Napoli team, I said, they strengthened in the summer, right? Because they've added players, but they didn't necessarily improve the starting 11. Højlund has now, after an early start, fallen back to the Højlund of Manchester United. And Scott McTominay, the player of the season, give it a rest. Overrated to the absolute moon. Huge weekend for Roma and Inter, who go top of the league. Inter in particular, an absolutely dominant, controlling performance against Lazio. Lautaro opened the scoring very early on. Remarkable. Boni then made it two from an incredible DeMarco cross. Boni's numbers are exceptional considering the fact that he's not really an out-and-out starter. One problem for Inter is this guy right here. My God, grade A fraud. But again, this is what separates Kivu and Inzaghi. All that talk about Inzaghi this, Inzaghi that. He's overrated. He was overrated from day one. Kivu's doing a lot better things than Inzaghi was doing. Carlos Augusto right wing back, no problem. No problem. The pressing that Inter displayed, the intensity. We never seen that under Inzaghi. Up the line, you have to up the line. What is this, man? Modern football, you got to press high up the pitch. And Inter are doing that perfectly under Simone Inzaghi. The back line, Bastoni, phenomenal yesterday. So, all in all, positive signs for Inter as we go top of the league, like I said, alongside Roma. Very, very close, mind you. Napoli, even with them faltering, they're still only 2 points behind. But they've played bad in every single game they've played this season. Like, it's tough at the moment to see them fighting for the title playing like this. I mean, Conte mentioned yesterday they may have another 10th place on the cards. Bologna, fantastic to them, like I said. Como showing, unfortunately, they can't beat the small teams. But huge weekend for Inter, who finish top of the league. Then, of course, we visited Spain. And exactly like I told you guys, Real Madrid were not going to win yesterday. I thought there'll be a lot more goals. It finished 0-0. I thought it'll be 2-2. When I seen the Real Madrid start in 11, I'm like, yeah, they're going to struggle. Camavinga obviously is not good enough. The issue for Real Madrid, though, yesterday was, I mean, it was Mbappe's worst game of the season so far. Well, I guess followed by the Liverpool game. They've now scored 0 goals in the last 2 matches. And Vinicius, yet again, got pocketed by Raishu, like I told you he would before the game. But what makes the Vinicius situation even more problematic is the fact that Doku destroyed Bradley while he got pocketed. I mean, it's different setups, of course, because City at the moment are doing a lot better to set Doku up in more one-on-one opportunities, but it's still a huge cause for concern. Is it alarm bells ringing for Real Madrid? Not necessarily, because I think, like I said, this team is playing to their limitations. I've seen Real Madrid fans attacking Xabi Alonso based on what? You need a striker, you need a midfielder. You didn't bring any in the summer. So, I don't know exactly what you expect. Give credit to Rayo. They're a very tough team to beat. And then, of course, just like I told you, I said Barca will win 3-2, finish 4-2. That defense. I mean, the first goal they conceded, because obviously Rashford had the chance to make it 2-0. The first goal they conceded, again, I defended Hansi Flick's high line. That first goal, there's no defending that. Like, that is shocking defending. And at the moment with Barcelona, even the second goal, every single shot against Szczesny is a goal. But that's why I urged calmness. Like, to Barca fans, once Joan Garcia comes in, once you bring in Rafinha, Lewandowski still shows that even at his age, he's much better than Ferran Torres. Incredible hat-trick. Yamal, ever since he split with Nicky Nicole, back to his very best. And Frankie de Jong yesterday, by the way, basically had to play on his own in midfield. Done both his and Pedri's role in one, was sensational despite eventually getting sent off. So, and Araujo was really good as well. I liked Balde. So, all in all, a lot of positives to take at a very tough place to go for Barcelona. They'll close the lead down to 3 points. Atletico Madrid also won on Saturday. So, it's looking like a very exciting La Liga. But like I told you after the El Clasico, it is far from over. And PSG, we seen also got a very late winner, like we predicted as well. We were happy with that one, PSG winning that. This was my team of the week. Emi Martinez in goal, saved a penalty, clean sheet. I went with Malo Gusto, Matthias Delict, and Lukumi, who scored a brilliant header against Napoli for Bologna. My forward midfield, Salemaker, at the moment he is playing unbelievable. Doku, of course, player of the week. Enzo Fernandez and Nico Gonzalez in midfield. I went with Griezmann in behind Thiago and Lewandowski. For my flops 11, I went with Chevalier in goal. Disastrous, eh? That selling Donnarumma, bringing in Chevalier, my God. Right back, we have a lot of contenders. I went with Pedro Porro. It could have been Bradley, of course. I went with Zabarni, Van Dijk, and Estupinan for Milan, who was terrible. In midfield, I went McTominay, McAllister, Vinny on the left. I went Brennan Johnson on the right. Obviously, it could have been Salah. I mean, it could have been the whole Liverpool team in this flop 11. But then I went with Højlund and Mbappe up front. Let me know anything you disagree with. I need to go sort out my freaking back. Very happy to finish the final weekend before the international break on a high, and most of my prophecies coming to fruition. We'll do a few videos over the next couple of weeks, a few rankings here and there, some tier lists maybe, and of course we'll be gaming on Twitch quite a lot. So I'll catch you guys for those. A very happy Phoenix out.